this video, we will embark upon a comprehensive journey into the world of mathematical functions in Excel. These functions will be your indispensable tools to perform calculations, analyze data, and gain valuable insights. So let's dive in and explore the wonders of Excel's mathematical capabilities. We will begin by unraveling the power of the SUM function. Let us imagine you have a lengthy list of expenses in cells A1 to A100. To calculate the total expenses, you could manually add up each value, but that would be tedious and extremely time-consuming. Instead, we have the SUM function, which acts as a virtual accountant, diligently adding up all the numbers within the specified range of cells. It is like having a personal assistant that performs the calculations for you. Let us see it in action. In cells A1 to A100, enter the expenses for different items. In cell A101, type this formula. Then press enter. Observe the grand total of your expenses magically appear in cell A101. Now let us move on to the SUMIF function. This function is very powerful when you need to calculate the sum of values based on specific criteria. Imagine you have a large data set of sales records with columns for sales amount and corresponding regions. You can use the SUMIF function to calculate the total sales for a particular region. It is like having a salesperson who selectively adds up numbers that meet certain conditions. Let's try it out. In column A, enter the sales figures for different products. In column B, assign regions. Example, North, South, East, West to each sale. In cell A105, type this formula. Then press enter. Observe the total sales for the North region magically appear in cell A105. Next, let us explore the average function. Imagine you have a data set of test scores for a class of students. If you want to determine the average score, the average function will be your reliable companion. So it acts as a mathematician calculating the mean value of a range of numbers. This function is particularly useful when analyzing data or evaluating performance. Let us see it in action. In cells A1 to A50, enter the test scores of different students. In cell A51, type this formula and press enter. Observe the average score displayed in cell A51, revealing the performance of the class. Now let us count with the count function. This function comes in quite handy when you want to determine the total count of a specific set of data. Imagine you have a large data set of survey responses and you need to know the number of responses that you have received. Then you can use the count function to count the number of responses. It is like having a very hard-working counter who swiftly tallies up the numerical values within a range of cells. Let's give it a try. In column A, enter different responses to a survey. In cell A105, type this formula, then press enter. Observe the count of responses displayed in cell A105, reflecting the level of participation. Now, let us discover the power of the round function. Sometimes, precision matters in your calculations. The round function allows you to round a number to a specified number of decimal places. It is like having a precision engineer fine-tuning your values to the desired level of accuracy. Let us see how it works. In cell B1, enter a decimal number. In cell B2, type the formula equal to round A2, 2. Then press enter. Observe the rounded value displayed in cell B2, reflecting the desired level of precision. Now let us add some randomness to our Excel adventure with the rand function. Excel can be your source of random numbers for simulations, games, or random data generation. The rand function generates a random number between 0 and 1. It's like rolling a dice and getting a different result each time. Let's give it a shot. In cell A1, type this formula. Then press enter. Observe the random number generated in cell A1. Copy the formula to a range of cells to generate multiple random numbers. To find the remainder after dividing one number by another, we have the mod function. It is like solving a puzzle where you want to know what is left after division. The mod function allows you to determine the remainder. Let us explore it. In cell B2, type this formula. Press enter. Observe the remainder displayed in cell B2, which is the result of dividing 10 by 3. Next, let us convert decimals to integers using the int or the int function. Sometimes you need a whole number without decimals. The int function transforms a decimal number into an integer by truncating the decimal part. It is like rounding down to the nearest whole number. Let us see it in action. In cell A2, enter a decimal number. In cell B2, type the formula shown on the screen. Press enter. Observe the integer value displayed in cell B2, showing the whole number without decimals. Lastly, let us uncover the absolute value with the ABS or the abs function. It's like having a magician who removes the sign and reveals the positive value. The abs function returns the absolute value of a given number. It is particularly useful when dealing with distances, differences, or magnitudes. Let's give it a shot. In cell A2, enter a positive or negative number. In cell B2, type the formula on the screen. Press enter. Observe the absolute value displayed in cell B2, removing the sign and showing the positive value. By embracing these powerful mathematical functions in Excel, you can enhance your data analysis, calculation, and decision-making skills. So keep practicing and unlocking the full potential of Excel's mathematical capabilities. And yes, remember, Excel is not just a spreadsheet. It is actually your partner in unraveling insights from data.